Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about the betting markets in the 2024 presidential election and where these bettors predict the 2024 race is going. So we will be filling out our electoral map with margins based off of what is the predicted result as of right now in poly market. This is one of the betting markets. Now this stuff changes very rapidly. Again, this is people betting their own money on, in this case, a political event on who will win the 2024 election. So you can bet nationally who will win not just the popular vote, that's another thing, but you can bet on who you think will win the presidency in 2024. As you see, it is just about split. Kamala Harris has a lead of 1%. She's at 50% chance. Donald Trump at 49%. So clearly, the betting markets are saying that this race is incredibly tight, and that is also reflected in the electoral map. So I developed, or as I was saying before too, this stuff changes very quickly, right? Tomorrow, some of these states could be going the other way. Again, this is just regular people betting, so if there's an influx of bets or if something changes slightly, then that could change the direction of a state in the poly market. But anyway, with that being said, I did kind of develop a little system here to figure out margins. So of course there's a tilt margin, lean margin, likely margin, and safe margin. But obviously, as you'd expect, these people do not bet on margins, right? You just bet on how you think a state will go. For example, we could take Georgia, for example. We'll get to all these states. But for example, in Georgia, 60% of bettors say that Trump is going to win the state. 40% say that Harris will win. Now, are people thinking that the margin is going to be 60-40? Trump beats Harris by 20% in Georgia? Absolutely not. So, that does not accurately reflect the margin of the state. So I did develop a little system here. I'm saying that any margin in a state, in terms of the betting margin, right, in terms of the margin between who will win the state, according to the betting markets, if that margin is 55% for someone, 45% for the other person, then it is a tilt margin. A tilt margin in an election prediction, in my election predictions, typically mean a state where a margin falls less than 1%, so incredibly tight of a race. So again, 45% to 55% or less, right? Or less, or if it's narrower than that, then that is a tilt margin. 40 to 60%, if it's between 40 to 60%, in between 45 to 55, if that makes sense, 40 to 60, between 45 to 55, which is tilt, then that is a lean margin. Again, 40% for someone, 60% for the other. And then in between that and 30% for someone, 70% for the other person, that is a likely margin. And then finally, anything above a 30 to 70 margin is a safe margin. So, for example, Wyoming. I'm sure we all know how Wyoming is going to go. 99 to 1. So that falls under the safe margin characterization. So with that being said, let's get into this video. We're just going to start on the West Coast and fill out the electoral map eastward. So we'll start with Alaska and Hawaii, I guess. So Alaska, the poly market says, is a 91 to 9 margin for Trump. Or not the margin, but, 91% chance of winning Alaska for Trump. So Alaska, of course, is safe. You're going to find quickly that many of these states are just safe right off the bat, as you'd expect. Hawaii is 98 to 2. So Hawaii goes safe for Kamala Harris. And then we have Washington, which is 97 to 3, a little closer, but still a safe state for Harris. In Oregon, it's a 96 to 4, so Oregon is safe for Kamala Harris. California is 98 to 2, another safe state for Kamala Harris. She takes a huge lead, 78 to 3, but that's just the West Coast states, so that's expected. Then we have Idaho, which is 99 to 1, so of course Idaho is going to be a safe state for Donald Trump. And then we have Montana, which is 98 to 2. That's another safe state for Donald Trump. We have Wyoming, 99 to 1. I don't even know who is betting their own money, saying that Kamala Harris is winning Wyoming, just as I don't know who is spending their money saying that Trump is going to win California. Makes zero sense to me. They're just throwing away their money, even if they're trying to make a point. But Wyoming is safe for Donald Trump. North Dakota 98 to 2. We'll just do South Dakota 98 to 2 as well. Both the Dakotas go to Donald Trump. And then we'll head over to a very swingy state, Nevada. This is a critical battleground state in 2024. 6 electoral votes. Both candidates in real life here are really trying for Nevada. So let's check up on the margin in critical Nevada. So Nevada, the bettors in Polymarket say that Donald Trump has a 54% chance of winning the state of Nevada. 54. So that is in between the 45 to 55% margin to make Nevada a tilt state for Donald Trump. So this state of Nevada is expected to be very close. I also have it very close. However, I have Kamala Harris winning by a tilt margin as well. Then we'll head over to Utah, a very Republican state. 97 to 3, no surprise there. And then we go down to another critical battleground state, the state of Arizona. It only voted for, wrong map. It only voted for Joe Biden by 0.31% in the 2020 election. So where does it stand in Polymarket? You see, 3 states are toss-ups, Nevada, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. They don't even show the color. But if you hover over the state, we see that Donald Trump, 55% chance of winning the state. Kamala Harris, 45% chance. So Donald Trump takes another critical win, and that also falls within the tilt margin. Again, tilt margin is 45 to 55, so it is just right there. So Arizona falls under the Trump column, but a very narrow victory. Then we have Colorado, which is a 95 to 5% chance for Kamala Harris, so that's, of course, a safe state. And then we have New Mexico, which is 91 to 9. So Polymarket is saying that New Mexico is a safe state. That one's a little bit surprising to me. I would have thought that this one would be a lot closer, but I guess not. Now let's move on to Nebraska. So Nebraska splits their electoral votes. So in the at-large vote, the 1st district and the 3rd district, all of them are safe margins for Donald Trump, of course. And in the 2nd district, what did it say? I think it is safe. Yeah, so the 2nd district is 82% chance for Kamala Harris winning, which is above the likely margin. And Nebraska's 2nd would be a safe state. I guess I should have made the likely margin a little bit broader. Anyway, in Kansas, Donald Trump has 97 to 3. Oklahoma 99 to 1, so both of these states are safe. Whoops, not for Harris, but for Donald Trump. And then in Texas, could be close, probably not though. We see that it is 84 to 16, a heavy margin. Trump is the heavy favorite in Texas. That does make Texas a safe state as well. And then we have Minnesota. Harris's chances boosted way up when Tim Walz was picked as VP. Minnesota goes 94 to 6 for Kamala Harris. That is a safe state. And then in Iowa, you see that the margin is 92 to 8. So Iowa is a safe state according to Polymarket. And then we have Missouri 97 to 3, Arkansas 97 to 3, and Louisiana 97 to 3. Same margin in all of these 3 states. So now let's take a look at the electoral count. Donald Trump has taken back the lead at 130 electoral votes. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz at 104 right now. Let's head over to Mississippi, this deep Republican southern area. Mississippi 97 to 3, Trump is the favorite. Alabama 98 to 2, Donald Trump is the favorite. So he easily takes both of those states by a safe margin. And then we have Tennessee. Donald Trump 97% favorite in Tennessee. We have Kentucky, 98 to 2, in favor of Donald Trump. Then we have Illinois, Kamala Harris, the heavy favorite, 98 to 2, not much of a surprise there. Then we have Indiana. Indiana is a 97 to 3 margin in favor of Trump. Then we have Ohio. A little bit closer than others, but not really. 90-10. Of course, it's going to be a safe margin. And then we have West Virginia, a 98-2 favorite for Donald Trump there. And then we head over to one of the most critical battleground states in 2024, maybe the most toss-up state, according to my estimation, in the 2024 election, that being Wisconsin. So you can see that it is leaning Democrat. Let's see what the margin is. Kamala Harris has a pretty healthy, significant lead in the state of Wisconsin. She has 57%. She is the 57% favorite to win Wisconsin, which actually does characterize it as a lean margin state for Kamala Harris, since it is in between 45 and 55, between 40 and 60. So, Kamala Harris does take Wisconsin by a lean margin. She should be very happy with that. I think it will be even closer than a lean margin if she does win it. And then Michigan, another critical battleground state, looks even better for Kamala Harris. She is a 61-39 favorite in Michigan. I would wholeheartedly agree with this. I think that she has Michigan on lock. And that actually narrowly falls over a lean margin to make it a likely margin. Likely is 30-70, while lean is 40-60. So it is actually a likely state here. So Polymarket says Michigan is likely, and that's honestly reasonable. I could see it being a likely state. And then we head down to Florida. Florida, Donald Trump, 80-19. He is the heavy favorite to win in Florida. So that's a safe state for him. In Georgia, one of the most critical battleground states, 16 critical electoral votes. Could be a must-win, maybe not. In Georgia, Donald Trump is the favorite, 60-40. So that is still a lean state, but just narrowly. Almost likely. If it was a point more for Donald Trump, then this would be a likely state, but it is lean. I would agree with something like this. I do think that Trump is favored in Georgia for what it's worth. In South Carolina, Trump is the favorite, 96-4. And then in North Carolina, let's see, so it does lean Republican, but it is in the lean margin. It is 59% chance for Trump. It's 59-41. So now you could see how close this election Polymarket bettors are thinking it will be a lean margin for Trump in the state of North Carolina. So then we head up to Virginia. Kamala Harris is the heavy favorite now, 84-16. So that is a safe state. I wish there were more likely states. There's only one so far. And then, wait, is Michigan? Yeah, Michigan would be likely. And then we head up to the state of Maryland. Kamala Harris, heavy favorite, 98-2. Delaware, 97-3. So, of course, both of these states would be safe. And then we have Washington, D.C. Oh, it looks like they don't even set one up for D.C. Wow, that's sad, but of course it is always a safe state, probably because no one would bet on it since it's always a safe state. And then New Jersey is 96-4 for Kamala Harris, yet another safe state. And then the one most critical battleground state in 2024, Pennsylvania, the most electoral votes of any battleground state, that's 19. Let's see where it stands. We see that it is toss-up. This could make or break whoever wins in the Polymarket. Let's see. And Kamala Harris does lead. She leads in an incredibly tight race, 51-49. So as you can see, it's just about even. People are just about split when it comes to how Pennsylvania votes. But Kamala Harris does have a very slight lead of 2%, 51-49. A clear tilt margin falls right within that tilt margin. So she does win the blue wall. And let's see how that plays out when it comes to the victor after the rest of these states. New York, 98-2. Kamala Harris is the favorite. Connecticut, 98-2. Harris is the favorite. Rhode Island, 97-3. Harris is the favorite. In Massachusetts, 98-2. Kamala Harris is the favorite. So obviously, there was once a time when New York was looking competitive when Biden was the nominee. That clearly is no more. In Vermont, Kamala Harris is the favorite, 97-3. I'm surprised that's not 99-1. And then New Hampshire is looking competitive at one time, now not so much. Kamala Harris is the favorite, 81-19. And then in Maine, we see the at-large vote is in her favor, 86-14. The first district, 98% chance she wins. And then the second district is 70% for Trump. So we see let's see, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine at large all safe. First district safe. I'm sorry. The at-large vote is actually likely. That was 70 to 30, which is the maximum amount for likely. And then, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. So the second district is likely for Trump. That's the likely. And then Maine at large is safe. Sorry about that. But just slight change. So what do you see? You see that with the blue wall, Kamala Harris wins the election with 270 electoral votes, according to Polymarket. Donald Trump, 268. So this is such a tight race. It would be really shocking if it came down to 2 electoral votes. I mean, that means that, Kamala Harris doesn't have any electoral votes to spare. She has to win every single one. It would just be incredible. So exciting, too. Maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way, that's your opinion, when, on election night or the days following, if it really came down to one state like this, where it was decided by 2 electoral votes. So that's where Polymarket stands. Again, this is not a prediction, this is just Polymarket, this is just the betting market, so take it for what it's worth. But still, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, that would help out a lot. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.